Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm really sorry. I know you've been waiting very patiently to find out the winners of the contest, so we're going to finally announce them for you here today. So once again, this is the Ma.K and Gundam Contest that wrapped up recently. We in total had 52 people enter, and then 35 people actually totally finished their projects in time. So 35 entries is pretty good. I was expecting this contest to be a little bit lower in total entries, finished entries, than usual, just because of the nature of Ma.K just not being as popular or well known as a franchise as of course Gundam is within especially my audience here, but I was hoping that we'd get a good amount, and 35 was a really good number. So just a big thank you to everyone who took the time to enter, even if you didn't finish your projects on time. Just thank you to those who just showed interest in the contest. That's really great. And of course, a big thank you to my buddy Lincoln Wright, who helped me judge the contest and helped announce and was involved with the contest as well. Of course, Lincoln is Lincoln Wright of Paint on Plastic, and he's got his intro. I'll let him introduce himself, and just in case any of you guys weren't aware of who he is, here you go. Here's Lincoln.
Hey guys, thank you very much, Zach, for inviting me to guest judge in this competition, and big thank you to our sponsors, Hobbyco Australia and Gundam USA. I'm Lincoln Wright, and I lived in Japan for 25 years and worked as a studio artist in the Japan sci-fi industry. Recently, Koyokuyama Sensei, the creator of Machine Krieger, or Ma.K, and my teacher gave me the position of official International Machine Krieger Ambassador and the title of Link Sensei. So that makes me uniquely qualified to help out and take part in this wonderful community activity.
Right, and as Lincoln said, I also want to echo the thank you to the sponsors of this competition, Hobbyco in Australia and USA Gundam Store in the US, of course, for supplying the prizes. And once again, the prizes are, we're going to have 2 first place prizes and 2 second place prizes. The first place prizes are $150 in store credit. The second place prizes are $100 in store credit. So the 4 winners will be able to choose some stuff, whatever they like from their respective stores. So we'll sort that out with the winners once they're announced. But of course, as always, I want to show you guys some of the runners up first before we get into that. Now, as I said, we had 35 total entries, so I will show you guys all of them at the end of the video. There'll be a slideshow of all the entries so you guys can check those out. They were all really cool. The ones that we chose here for the runners-up were also really cool. It was really hard for Lincoln and I when we were going through doing the judging. Some of these we were like really on the fence which ones we wanted to go with or not, and it ultimately came down to some very small differences between a couple of them. So there's some really awesome ones here as well. These guys all did a really fantastic job as well. Here are the runners-up. Alright, so with that out of the way, we got our 4 final winners then to announce. Now, Lincoln and I discussed the winners together. They weren't kind of like his 2 picks and my 2 picks. It was all a joint effort between the 2 of us. But Lincoln's going to talk about 2 of the winners, and then I'm going to talk about 2 of the winners. So I'll let Lincoln go ahead and talk about his 2 winners first. Go ahead, Link.
Here's one of our cool runners-up. This one's by Jeff, and it looks like it's an RB79 ball mixed with a Ma.K White Knight spacesuit. 2 spacesuits put together and upgunned. Have a look at that. Money shot. I really love this work here, Jeff, and I especially like that you've modeled it and given it the apparent look of being in 0G. Really cool look floating there. If I could only fix one thing or suggest one thing, I'd suggest that you put some of that lovely spacesuit color that the girl's wearing, the pilot, somewhere on the suit, just to put some coherency between them and to show that they belong together. And I think that would have made it perfect. But otherwise, the bands on the flight vanes, the finish on the nozzles, the red on the grips, the interior detail, wonderful work. Love this one. And here's one of our first place winners by Win, and I loved this work so much I actually sent these photos to Koyokuyama Sensei and said, hey, check this out. How cool is this? I mean, the concept here, he nailed it. It's a very basic SAFS, which is iconic for the series, painted in RX78 colors, added shield there. It's perfectly done. And you can even see that he's modeled the paintbrush strokes, yet painted them with a much smaller brush. Beautifully done. Colorway is perfect. The figures have been modified. It's the Sasha figure from quite a few years ago, and they've been changed to have a surprise. And then look at that, the additional modifications to the helmet to again make it look like the RX-78 Grandpa suit. Fantastic work. Well played, sir. Well played.
So our other second place winner here was Matt with this really cool Hygog sort of diorama set here with the workers working on that. Now there was a couple of entries kind of similar, had this kind of similar thing with the kind of vignette or diorama there with the mecha suit and some workers working on it. This one was definitely our personal favorite, the one that we chose obviously to be one of the winners, and that's because this one had kind of all of the elements ticked and there wasn't any kind of weak point on this. Now the inside of it was also really nicely detailed and painted, the outside was nicely painted, and just the scene was nicely arranged there on the space. The actual modifications that he made to the suit all looked cohesive, nothing really looked out of place, and it looked like it could be something from the Ma.K universe with the additions that he made to it. Nothing really looked kind of like strange or out of place again. All in all, it was a great choice of base kit for the theme, and then what he did with this really fit the bill of what we were looking for as a mix of elements of both Gundam and Ma.K, so really awesome job. Alright, and that brings us to the final winner, the second first place winner here that will also receive $150 in store credit here, and that is Kevin's work. Now, this is an awesome little diorama scene there using 3 of the 35 Gachanen Ma.K figures, and both Lincoln and I really loved this straight away. As soon as we saw it, we both like fell in love with this because you keep seeing things about it. At first glance, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of Gundam involved. It basically just looks like this simple desert scene with the 3 Ma.K suits there going along. But you'll notice all these little Gundam references in it that are just really awesome. Nothing's like really super blatant, I think. If you're a Gundam fan, obviously you're gonna see it right away. But you've got the center one there styled up like the Goof, and then the other 2 flanking it styled up as Zaku's, and there's all sorts of stuff in there. Obviously the colors, the Goof is in blue, the Zaku's are in green. But then even inside there, aside from the awesome LED work that he did inside of them too, which is really cool, but he's got the Rambaral head inside there from the hard graph kit, the 1/35th, I guess that is also 1/35th scale hard graph kit. He's got the Rambaral head in there, and the other 2 Zaku's have like a kind of night vision or like camera thing on their head to give them the mono eye like a Zaku. The 2 Zaku kits have the Zaku shield on the side, which I'm gonna guess is probably just scratch built on there. The one Zaku has the big giant axe, Heat Hawk looking weapon, the other one has the bazooka, and then the Goof one has like the machine gun or like the missiles inside the shield there to look like the Goof's like machine gun hand. And then aside from the kits themselves, the box they set it in, first of all, it's just a really cool idea that he set it in like the Ma.K looking box, and then he just printed that so it looks like a legit box. When you look at it, you're like, oh wait, no, that's actually part of the whole thing too, because it's Goof there on the bottom, and it's got the Series V there playing on the Operation V from the original Gundam series. And then aside from the SF3D logo, he's got the Zeonic logo in there as well, just kind of, so even carried down into the box, the base of that, he's mixing Ma.K and Gundam stuff together though, so all the references there just were really awesome, and just on top of that, it's just really well executed. It's a really nice, really clean build there. It looks fantastic. It's a wonderful diorama. Both Lincoln and I really love that a lot. So that is it for the winners, guys. Once again, thank you to everyone who took the time to enter. If you missed this contest, don't worry, I've got another contest coming around very soon that will just be only Gundam stuff. It won't be Ma.K involved this time, but I'll announce that to you guys soon enough, so stick around for that. And just again, guys, if any of you haven't checked out Lincoln's channel, do definitely check it out. He's got a lot of fantastic work there, some really helpful tutorials and things like that you guys should check out. It's definitely worth taking a look at. I'll give him the final word here before we get into the slideshow of all the entries. Just thank you guys so much for watching and all your support and all of that. I'll see y'all soon.
Thanks again everyone for being involved. That was loads of fun. I really enjoyed seeing all of the entries, and a special thanks to Zach for putting the spotlight on Maschinen Krieger for us and helping probably a bunch of new people see it. As for my current work, the biggest one is a book, and that will be available at the end of next year, and it will cover Maschinen Krieger, how I did the studio finishes, my Gunpla work, some Star Wars, maybe some other stuff too, end of next year. And whilst I'm working on that, I'm still doing videos. I'm doing a almost weekly build log tutorial for my Patreon membership site, Paint on Plastic. I also have 2.5 years worth of free tutorials here on YouTube, Paint on Plastic by Lincoln Wright. Check them out. Thanks so much, Brobots. See ya. Sweet model.